Here he is. It's your friend Dolores here again, and I'm going to tell you all about me encounter with the Queen a few years back when she came to Dublin. We always thought she would never come to the Irish Republic, but she surprised us all. She wore a lovely green outfit. She wore a lovely green hat, and she even spoke in Irish. She came off the plane, she knelt down and kissed the ground, the same way the Pope did when he came in 1979. She's a real lady, I can tell you. Now, what happened was, you see, I was still running my stall in Moore Street, and I got a tip off the day before that Her Majesty would be walking up Moore Street after she visited the Botanical Garden. Not Botanical Garden, what am I talking about? I mean the Garden of Remembrance in Parnell Square, you see. And she'd be doing a walkabout. She was going to be walking through Moore Street, and then she would be going up Henry Street then, and into McDonald's. She likes to mix with the people, you see. So what happened was, I was waiting all day, and I got myself all dressed up nicely. When I got the tip off, you see, I have friends in high places, and I was told, Dolores, the Queen is going to be passing by your stall in Moore Street, and you might want to look a bit presentable, and because you don't normally look presentable, Dolores. So I just wanted to warn you. Now I was highly insulted, but I let that remark go, because he's trying to help me, you know. So I put on my best skirt, lovely red, white and blue. So what happened was, it seemed like a very long day. I thought she was never going to come by. And I polished up my best apple for her. It's like the apple that, if you've ever watched The Little House on the Prairie, the young one, Nellie Olsen, she gave the teacher, Miss Beadle, she'd give her her best apple every day, but this apple was even better than them apples. This was the reddest, shiniest apple. You could even see your face in it. And I spent so long polishing it, you know. And it was all ready for Her Majesty. So I knew I'd have to be quick now, because she wouldn't have, her time would be at a premium, you know. She wouldn't have a lot of time for kind of, these security fellas, they kind of keep pushing them on over, keep prodding them along. They won't have them stop and talk to anyone. I've seen this before. So what happened was, I could see the green hat at the end of Moore Street, and she turned in from Parnell Street, see. So she was about 5 yards away. I stepped out from my stall, and I said, "Ma'am, this apple is for you." And she's such a lady. She said, "Oh, thank you very much," she said. Now, I wish I could get them in cigarettes. You know, I'm on 120 a day. I can't give them up. You know, it's so odd in days in Moore Street. I had nothing else to do, you know. So anyway, what happened was, I get confused there. But yeah, she came by. I gave her the apple. So she says, "Do you mind if I keep that for later? Because I want to give some to Philip, you see. And as well as that, I can't eat it now because my teeth aren't very good with apples, you see. I could break my teeth. And I've got to go to a dinner tonight in Dublin Castle, and I can't go there with no teeth, so I've got to be careful, you see." She's sharing all the kind of personal things with me, you know. I feel a great affinity with the Queen, to be honest with you. So what happened was I said, "That's fine, Your Majesty, you're very welcome." No, I was even talking to her in an English accent, because I thought she might not understand my accent, you see, because I'm born and bred in Dublin. I thought she might not understand me Dublin brogue, you see. So I had it all rehearsed. I said, "Your Majesty, it's so good to see you. I've been waiting all my life to meet you, and now this magic moment has happened." And you know what she said to me? She says, "You sound like you're from the East End of London," she said. "Oh no," I said, no, Your Majesty, I am from Dublin, but I wanted you to understand what I was saying to you." "Oh, I understand everything," she said. she started talking the East End of London accent herself then. So can't get this rid of his bleeding cough. So anyway, what happened was, I wanted to courtesy. Now, is it courtesy or courtesy? I always get them two words mixed up. Courtesy. Anyway, I think it's courtesy. So I wanted to extend the courtesy to her of courtesy, you see. And I was practicing in front of my mirror. And PJ was saying, what you bleeding doing? Keep genuflecting in front of the mirror all night. Go to bed, you stupid old woman, he said. I said, I'm practicing a courtesy for Her Majesty tomorrow. So anyway, this is a terrible thing that happened. But I'm just telling you this to let you know how kind she was to me. I did me courtesy. And what happened was, I pulled me elastic on my skirt too hard, you see. And the elastic broke and didn't my skirt fall down. Well, I never felt so embarrassed in all my life. So Her Majesty, she was so kind to me. She called her security people, said, come over here, you guys, come here. Stand all around this woman for a minute, keep her covered. She must be in bed, keep her covered, don't let anyone see her, stay where you are. She said, I'm going to go into deals and get you a belt that you can put around you. And my style was just outside deals, you see. So I said, Your Majesty, I said, just take €5 from me little cash box there. And she said, oh no, she says, I'm sure they won't charge me. So I said, well, just take it, just in case I don't know who you are, you see. So she says, okay, she says, I take it, they might not know who I am, you know. So she went in and she got a belt for me and she gave me €3 back. She said, they didn't actually know who I was. So I put the belt around me. And then the holes weren't in the right place, you see. So it still wouldn't hold up his skirt. So I said to one of the security fellas, I said, could you put a hole in here, please, for me? Put a hole. So he took his little penknife after I think he used it to cut his tobacco, you see. And he made the hole, and I put the belt on, and the belt fitted, and it was absolutely fine, and he was so indebted to Her Majesty. I said, Your Majesty, I will never forget your kindness. And I said, I will give you another apple now for Prince Philip. And I started polishing. I couldn't polish it as well as earlier one, which I spent hours polishing. But I gave it a quick rub with my skirt, you see, and it was nice and shiny. But I said, you remember, Your Majesty, that one is for you, the shiny one, and the other one is for Prince Philip. And I hope you have a lovely evening in the castle. I wish I was going. And you know how down to earth she is. I have so much enjoyed meeting you. I'm going to make sure you get an invite. You and your husband are going to get VIP guest tickets to the dinner tonight in Dublin Castle. So I said, well, I'd love to come, Your Majesty, but I don't know about PJ. He'd make a show of me, and he'd make a show of you. I don't mind, she says, just bring him as he is. He's very welcome. So I had to just pack up shop for the day. I went home, I said, PJ, put on your best suit, you're going to Dublin Castle. So he dressed up. He hadn't worn a suit for about 20 years. It was actually a bit big for him because he's lost a bit of weight, you see. But I put on, the only dress I had really was red, white and blue skirt, so I wore that. But what a lovely dinner we had. Escargot, they said there was. Lovely little snails for starters. Oh, it was beautiful. And pheasant, duck, these shellfish, some kind of shellfish, prawns, and these oysters, you know, and all the kind of things we only hear of. But we sell all that down the other end of Moore Street. They sell all that in the fish stall, but I never went for any of that shellfish stuff. Oh, it was delicious. I couldn't stop eating them oysters. I kept on stuffing them down my throat. And then we had all these fancy meats, pheasant, and all this what do you call that thing? Um, duck and there's tiny little birds like sparrows. What are they called? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a lovely meal, and you know they even gave us a few bob to get a taxi home. She took it out of her own handbag, you know. I'm so glad you could come, Dolores and PJ. I'm really honoured to have you here. I'd like to have ordinary people around me once in a while, without all these stuffy, toffee nose sort of types, you know, that I'm used to. So I'm going to give you a few bob out of me handbag to get home. Yeah, how much will it cost you to get a taxi home? So I said, it'd probably be about €8, ma'am. So she said, well, look, she says, take 15 and give the taxi driver a tip of a couple of euro. You keep a £5 for yourselves. Go out for a cup of coffee tomorrow. So that's my story, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And I just wish Her Majesty would come back to Ireland again, because if she does, PJ and I would like to have her over for tea. She and Prince Philip. You know, the problem is the travel bans at the moment. I don't think they'd be allowed to travel because of this COVID thing. But if they could come, it would make my day. So God bless you all.